Good afternoon, everybody. Michael here for Tactica Imperialis, and welcome to Codex Analysis for Astra Militarum, formerly known as the Imperial Guard. Today we are going to look at the Warlord Traits, the Orders, Army Special Rules, and at the Relics. So I am just going to start by saying that I'm trying a new format for at least Codex Analysis videos, because I need to see on screen what my codex is looking like, and so I'm going to record and then I'm going to use it as an overlay image rather than as a sit and talk. Although it's pretty similar, there won't be too much difference as far as you can tell. You'll still be hearing the same sort of thing. Come on, nearly there. Really should have scrolled to the right place before I started, really. Okay, here we go. Almost there. Heroes beyond number. Special rules. Here we go. So we start with the heavy weapons team. Infantry heavy weapons are typically crewed by a team of two. One fires the weapon, the other supplies the ammo. And for all game purposes, each heavy weapon team or veteran weapon team is treated as a single model with a bulky special rule. So it's treated as one model, but it counts as two. May only fire one weapon in the shooting phase and gains one additional attack for charging, and only counts as one model for morale checks. So it might have 2 wounds, but it still counts as one model in your squad. You don't get +2 attacks because there's 2 guys in it. You just get 1. When generating Warlord traits, an Astra Militarum Warlord may either roll on one of the 40k rulebook tables, or instead roll on this table below. Note that if your Warlord is a tank commander, he must roll a D3 on the table and can never roll on any other table. So let's go through the guard table. Now remember, 1, 2, and 3 are tank commander available orders. 4, 5, and 6 cannot be given by tank commanders. So number 1 is Grand Strategist. Nominate D3 units in your primary detachment, and these units gain outflank. This is pretty evil. Outflanking tanks, outflanking anything really is pretty nasty. Even outflanking flyers could be nasty. So I like that trait, and you can give it to tank commander, so you could outflank your tank commander if you like. 2. Old Grudges. During deployment, before infiltrators and before scouts, choose one codex. The Warlord and his unit are preferred enemy against all units chosen from that codex. This is basically preferred enemy, but it only applies to one detachment. So if your opponent has a primary detachment and allies, you cannot be preferred enemy against both. Draconian Disciplinarian. Friendly units from Codex Astra Militarum within 12 inches do not take morale tests for suffering 25% or more casualties. That's very, very good. If you've got big blobs of 50 and you lose 13, you no longer have a problem. They basically are pseudo-fearless. It's pseudo-fearless. Now, those are your tank orders and your regular commander orders. From here on, a tank commander cannot have these orders. Number 4, Implacable Determination. The Warlord and his unit have Relentless. This is okay. I think it's alright. I don't think it's that good unless you're putting him in a unit with heavy weapons. Number 5, Bellowing Voice. Your Warlord has the Voice of Command special rule, which allows him to issue orders. If your Warlord already has this rule, he can issue orders to friendly units that are within 18 inches instead of just 12, as is normal for a company commander. Number 6, Master of Command. Your Warlord again gains Voice of Command. If they already have this special rule, they can issue 1 additional order each turn, which is very handy. So let's explain Voice of Command. A model with this special rule is known as an officer. An officer can issue 1 order each turn. That's new. I'm going to make an apology. In all my games, I always thought you could issue as many as you were allowed. It's not. It's 1, unless possibly there's something of a company commanders in the HQ section. Orders issued and the effects are resolved at the start of your shooting phase. If you have more than 1 officer, or if you have an officer special that has a special rule allowing it to issue more than 1 order return, issue and resolve each order 1 at a time. Okay, you can issue more than 1 order return in certain circumstances, such as the extra Warlord trait, possibly for being a company commander as well. I'll just double check. Yeah, a company commander can issue 2. And issuing an order, an officer can attempt to issue an order provided he is not locked in combat, in a vehicle or building, except a chimera I believe, falling back or gone to ground. Issuing an order does not prevent the officer's unit from shooting or running or acting in any way later in that phase. So It's just a bonus thing you do. It's something you just do at the start of your shooting phase. To issue an order, declare the order your officer is attempting to issue and select a single friendly non-vehicle unit from Codex Astra Militarum within 12 inches. This can be your own unit. We call this the ordered unit. The ordered unit must take a leadership test to see if the order is understood and acted upon. If the test is passed, the order takes effect, as specified in the description below. If the test is failed, the order does not take effect. Unless an order causes the ordered unit to make a shooting attack or run, receiving it does not prevent the ordered unit from acting later, whether the order was successful or not. So if you go to give a unit first rank fire and they fail, they can still shoot normally. If you give them an order such as where is it? Get back in the fight, you can still shoot, and that's actually specified. Orders cannot be issued to embarked units or units that previously in order that phase. So you can only issue it to a unit once per shooting phase. Unless stated otherwise, orders cannot be issued to units that are locked in combat, falling back, or have gone to ground. There are exceptions, and I'll cover those. Inspired tactics. This is a special rule. If a double 1 is rolled for the order unit's leadership test, so you roll snake eyes, once the order has been resolved and all further orders issued by any officer are automatically successful. It used to be you got an extra order to go off for free. Now all your orders go off for free. This is a really nice bonus. I do like this rule. However, in competent command, if a double 6 is rolled for the ordered unit's leadership test, the order does not take effect and no more orders can be issued for the rest of the turn. Which is annoying if it's your first one. If it's your last one, nobody really cares that much. So, the orders. Take aim. The ordered unit must make a shooting attack. When resolving the shooting attack, all models have precision shot. This means that on a 6 to hit, they get to pick who they hit. So it doesn't have to be the front guy that dies. It could be the guy at the back with a heavy weapon that dies, for example. It's from page 109 of the Imperial Infantryman's Uplifting Primer, if you are interested. Smite at will. The ordered unit must make a shooting attack. When resolving the shooting attack, the ordered unit has split fire. This is a big bonus. Split fire is good. First rank fire, second rank fire. We all know this one. The ordered unit must shoot. When resolving the shooting attack, all models with las guns or hot shot las guns get 1 additional shot. You can now do this with hot shots as well. Very well and good because you have Tempestus command squads. So this is a really nice order and it's got better. Forwards for the Emperor. The ordered unit must make a shooting attack. Once the shooting attack is resolved, the ordered unit must run, even though a unit cannot normally shoot and run in the same phase. This is good. It's a mimicry of jump, shoot, jump. So you can move, shoot, and move back again, but you're not going to move very far. Or move, shoot, and advance even further forward. Move, move, move. The ordered unit must run. When determining how far the unit runs, roll 3 dice and use the highest result. So you roll 3 dice when you're running. This is really quite useful. Keep the highest. You're more than likely to get a 5 up or 6. Suppressive fire. The ordered unit must shoot. When resolving, all weapons have pinning. Don't underestimate how useful pinning is. It's rare that it will come into effect because most units have decent leadership, but against orcs, this is brutal. Bring it down can only be issued by senior officers, which is company commanders and possibly Lord Commissars. I'll just double check. Tank commander is not, because he cannot issue orders in a normal way. No, Lord Commissars are not senior officers by the looks of it, but I'll double check when we come back to do HQs. So bring it down can only be issued by senior officers. The order unit must shoot. When resolving this attack, all models have Tank Hunter and Monster Hunter. So basically it means they reroll to penetrate and I believe reroll to wound if they're shooting at monstrous creatures. Or tanks, depending on the scenario. Fire on my target. Again, senior officer only. The ordered unit must shoot, and when resolving, all weapons have ignores cover. Do not underestimate how good ignores cover is. It is beautiful. Against low armor save things like Tyranids with Venom Thropes, it is beautiful. Get back in the fight. Again, senior officer only. Unlike other orders, get back in the fight can only be issued to units that are falling back or gone to ground. The ordered unit immediately regroups if it's falling back but does not make a 3-inch move. If the unit is gone to ground, the effects of going to ground are immediately cancelled. In either case, the ordered unit can act, shoot, run, charge, etc. normally for the rest of the turn. So you can go to ground in your turn, and then issue get back in the fight to get up again. However, I should point out you cannot do this on your officer's squad because it says, where is it now? An officer cannot attempt to issue an order if he is falling back or gone to ground. So you'd have to be rallied or up before you could issue this order to anybody else, just so you know. That's all that's mentioned here in terms of special rules. I thought there was going to be more than that. So there are your orders, your Warlord Traits. There are some Tank Commander orders as well, which I'm probably going to have a look at now. So Tank Commanders have their own special orders that they can issue. They count as Leadership 9, but they don't have Inspired Tactics or Incompetent Command. It says you roll 2d6 at the beginning of the shooting phase and the results 9 or less, choose one order to take effect. It only applies, I believe, to his own squadron. Yeah, so they can either move an extra 6 plus d6 inches. You can either split fire your shooting attacks, or you can launch smoke launchers whilst shooting, so you can do both. I mean, they're not amazing, but they are quite useful. Split fire on a tank squadron is brilliant. You do not have to be a warlord either. This could be your secondary HQ, which is handy. So that's good. Commissars are allowed to issue orders. No, they are not. They cannot be warlords. Sorry, stand corrected. Okay, so that will be the end of this video. I was expecting it to be a little longer than that. Oh, I know what I've forgotten. I've forgotten the relics. Oops, sorry. Many apologies. Mistakes were made. Whoops, wrong way. So one problem when you've got an E-Codex is you have a lot of scrolling to do. At least in my case, scrolling is annoying. And, oh, for crying out loud, 150. Okay, I thought they were in the war gear section, or in the sort of points section of war gear. Nope, they're above it. Well, and now we are almost there. Here we go. The Heirlooms of Conquest. Sorry, that was a bit long-winded. The Heirlooms of Conquest are sacred relics that can only be taken one per army. There's only one of each of these items in the galaxy, after all. The Tactical Auto Reliquary of Tiberius. Try and say that after you've had a couple of beers. When rolling leadership tests for orders issued by an officer with a Tactical Auto Reliquary, any successful leadership test that results in a double will count as Inspired Tactics. So basically, on a double 2, double 3, double 4, double 5, it counts as Inspired Tactics. I think this also counts as double 6, but it says successful leadership test, so you have to actually pass it. So on most cases, this is only going to be double 2s, double 3s, and in some cases, double 4s. There are very few leadership 10 units. However, if you roll a double 1 whilst using the Tactical Auto Reliquary, you still benefit from Inspired Tactics. If the officers accidentally shut the device out of the Vox network, it may no longer be used. So it only lasts until you actually get a double 1, and then you're back to the regular orders measuring system. And which is pretty good. I use it sometimes. I've used it in my job at it belt videos for my company commander. The Laurels of Command. Whenever a friendly unit from Codex Astra Militarum within 6 inches is required to take a morale check, the bearer of the leadership of the Laurels, may choose whether they pass or whether they fail. However, if the model is removed as a casualty, all friendly units within 6 inches must take a pinning test. So it's sort of like an old rule that applied to Marnia's Calgar. You could choose to pass or fail leadership tests within a certain range. It's like combat tactics. However, if you die, it's like an ethereal mini nerf. You take a leadership test. That's what it used to be anyway. Pinning. It's not bad. I mean, that's quite useful to be fair, but you won't get many units within 6 inches, even as a Lord Commissar. Kurov's Aquila, or Aquila, depending on how you like to pronounce it. The officer and all friendly units from Codex Astra Militarum within 6 inches have preferred enemy. So this is basically like the second Warlord trait, but it applies to all units within 6 inches, which is beautiful. In addition, the bearer may reroll a single failed leadership test per turn. So if you're in just under shooting fire, you've got to reroll to your panic test. Just be careful if you use it in shooting phase and you're going to get charged, because you may need it. Although you could have somebody with the Laurels around, and that wouldn't be a problem. Yeah, just you may realise that this is actually going to stack with the Warlord trait, so that could be problematic. The Blade of Conquest. This is another piece of war gear I quite like. It's 30 points if I remember rightly. It's a melee weapon that's master crafted, so it's reroll to hit, period. It might be reroll just 1 dice. Strength +1, AP 3. So you basically become a Space Marine with a power weapon with this thing, which is pretty good. I wouldn't recommend it though unless you're running a Lord Commissar, because you won't be wanting a company commander in melee anyway. The Emperor's Benediction. It's a bolt pistol, but it's strength 5, AP 4, precision shot, master crafted. So with a high BS of a Lord Commissar, you're not going to miss, and it's like firing a heavy bolter shot. And it's precision shot, so you might actually hit something useful. The last one is the Death Mask of Olanius, or Olanius. I'm going to go with Olanius. Believed martyred at the hands of Horus. Yeesh. The bearer of the Death Mask gains a 4-up invuln and has It Will Not Die and Fear. 4+ invuln is brilliant. It's the best invuln save you can get for a commander, because you're generally just relying on your 5-up refractor field. It Will Not Die, useful to regenerate wounds on a 3-wound commander. Fear, better on commissars. I recommend this for company commanders because you need that 4-up invuln. Trust me, you do. 5-up invuln is not great. And they cost, as soon as I do a lot of scrolling. So yeah, just in review, I do like the Astra Militarum Codex. It's got a lot of stuff in it that's quite good. I'm annoyed they took out a lot of named characters, but I'll probably end up whinging about that in the next video in this series anyway, because they mostly came out of... Actually, no, they came out of the troop section more than the HQ section. I stand corrected. And they cost the Emperor's Benediction, the bolt pistol, for Lord Commissar only, 5 points. Laurels of Command, company commander only, 25 points. Tactical Auto Reliquary, again, company commander only, 25 points. Blade of Conquest, 25 points. Death Mask, 30 points. Cure of Zakila, company commander only, 60 points. So you can see how they get better as you get up in cost. Personally, I really like the Auto Reliquary, and I think the Death Mask is near vital if you can, but it is a little bit pricey. So yeah, the Warlord traits are pretty good. I'm not dead sold on all of them. Some of them are a little bit situational. I mean, I don't like Relentless, but Preferred Enemy is good. Extra orders or extra range on your orders is excellent. The Tank Commander can only take some of them. Preferred Enemy tanks would be excellent. Outflank is really quite handy. The orders, there's more orders than there used to be. I covered the Imperial Guard Codex right when I started this channel, which was about 8 months ago. And it's definitely a marked improvement on the orders. First rank fire getting better as well has definitely been useful. And the relics, they're good. I just mentioned I like the Auto Reliquary and I like the, what's it called? The Death Mask. But it's not a dead set. Some of them will just be personal taste. Some of them will actually be really viable. It really depends on what you run. If you're running a Lord Commissar, I have to say the Emperor's Benediction for 5 points is a really good investment. It is. To take your bolt pistol, strength 5, AP 4, precision shots, and master crafted when you're already ballistic skill 5, that's very useful. I mean, it's only 5 points. You haven't got much to complain about, really. So yeah, that's all for this video. I hope you found it useful. I hope you like this new layout. I'll be back with part 2, which is unique HQs, in the future. So thank you for watching. My name is Michael, and I will see you again.